Hey guys, Mr. B here. In this video I'm going to take you through a few different types of the number sets. So this is one of those things that if you're in a lot of courses, the math teacher kind of knows you know, but it's one of those things that often you don't. So, there are a few different types of number sets that you have to really be aware of. So I'm just going to go through them all, and hopefully this will shine some light on, what they are, and this can help you out in your courses. So, really the first number set that you need to be aware of are real numbers. So real numbers are basically every single number. If you can think of it, it's a real number. So it's every single number. Roots, pi, negative numbers, positive numbers. Everything is a real number. So if you can think of it, it's actually a real number. So within real numbers, there are really a breakdown of two groups. So rational. And the symbol I use for real is just an R with a doubled thing on it. So again, your teacher might have slightly different expectations for what what to use. So rational numbers are a subset of real numbers. So real numbers gets broken up into a couple different types. So rational isn't one, and rational is any number. So any number that can be written as a fraction. So, example of a number that can be written as a fraction is repeating decimals. So repeating decimal and terminating decimals. So when you think about terminating decimal, so a repeating decimal might be something like 0.3 repeating. So that would be written. That can be written as a fraction as 1/3. Now, a terminating decimal might be like 2.1. So that can be written as 21/10. Like any number can be really anything that ends. Any number that ends can be written as a fraction. So like 3 that ends, it terminates. So it can be written as a fraction, 3/1. So when we're talking about rational numbers, it really includes a lot of other sets like integers, -1s, -2, all those numbers. So really that's takes up most of your real numbers that you'll actually use. So any fraction, any terminating or repeating decimal, any whole number, natural number, or integer. So the other type, contrast with rational numbers, are irrational numbers. And of course, if a rational number is anything that can be written as a fraction, irrational is can't be written as a fraction. Can't be written as a fraction. So the best example that can't be written as a fraction is pi. Another example would be root 2, root 5, any non-perfect square. So when we're looking here, we're looking for decimals that go on forever with no pattern. So decimals that don't repeat or terminate. So they go on forever without any pattern, like pi, 3.141592, so on and so forth. And the other one would be non-perfect squares. So a non-perfect square, example, root 2. If you take the square root of root 2, it's a decimal that continues on with no pattern. Now there are a couple more number types that narrow it down, and these would all fall underneath rational numbers. So the other number types that we'd have to worry about would be natural numbers. So the natural numbers are what I call my counting numbers. So they start with my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and keep going. So a lot of people call them the kindergarten numbers because that's how you start in kindergarten. You start with one finger and 1, 2, 3, 4, and you put them out and you count them as you go. Now the other one would be very similar to natural numbers is whole numbers. So the only difference between natural number and whole numbers is that whole number has 0 in it, and it just keeps going on. So it doesn't have any decimals, it's just whole numbers. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Obviously, the only difference between these two is one has 0, one has the other. So you have to remember, whole numbers have a 0. The way I remember it, the way you spell whole, it has an O in it, looks like a 0, bam, there it is. So, the final type I'm going to talk about is integers. So integers is a lot like the whole numbers. It has 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it also has the negative of them. So it has negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, and then it starts with the whole numbers. So it has all the whole numbers plus the negative numbers. But there are no decimals. They're whole numbers basically, with negative ones as well. So hopefully, guys, that takes you through all the number sets. A lot of times these are just inherent in math courses, and you'll see it in domain and ranges, describing things. Use it to describe domains and trig and all kinds of stuff like that. So they're really important. You can lose marks on tests for easy stuff if you don't have these memorized or you understand them. Hopefully this video helps with that, and I'll see you guys in class. Thanks for watching.